Good morning. So today I want to talk about spaciousness. So having a quality of spaciousness within us is very vital to our practice. So a lot of the time we don't feel spacious. There's lots of reasons for that. Of course, most of us have got very busy lives. We're trying to do a lot of things all at once very often. We've got a long to-do list, and that can make us feel very pressured and lacking in space. But spaciousness is actually something that comes from within us. It's not something that necessarily has to be provided from outside of ourselves. I say not necessarily because obviously when we're on holiday or we're not so pressured, we can feel more spacious. But we can also have that sense of spaciousness within ourselves. We can encourage or even produce that sense of spaciousness if we are aware enough, if we're mindful enough. So how does that happen? What actually is spaciousness? Well, I think it's sort of a sense of not being squashed, a sense of freedom, a sense of openness and brightness, aliveness. And that's often what we don't feel because we're concerned in all sorts of ways. We have anxiety and a sense that there's no time. So the most important thing really is to have a meditation practice. And if you haven't yet got a meditation practice, I'd certainly recommend that you go on a course if you haven't done it. And it's not something really that you can learn adequately through the internet. You really need a personal contact and be able to talk about what you're experiencing. So we do need that. But if you haven't yet meditated, you can still start learning about that sense of spaciousness by just sitting in a pleasant place, maybe in the garden or maybe out in a park somewhere, and starting to notice what's on your mind when you just sit there, when you've got nothing to do, nowhere you've got to be. I mean, it doesn't need to be a long time. Maybe it's 10 minutes, 15 minutes, but you're able to sit there on a bench, on a seat, and simply sit and look. So what happens when we look? Well, of course, our mind starts going, doesn't it? It's like, what's that child doing over there? Let me plug in my computer, because that's not very helpful. There we are. I might just carry on recording. So there we are, sitting on a park bench or on a chair. And we start thinking about what we're looking at. Oh, that tree looks like it's dying. Oh gosh, that's a nice bike he's got. Yeah, I'd like one like that. So these are all the sorts of things that go through our mind. So the first thing to do is to notice. It's like, I'm not really just sitting here. I'm projecting myself. I'm buying something. I'm looking on the internet for where I can buy that bike. I'm worrying that child might not have its parent with it. I'm worrying about that tree and start thinking about all the trees that are being culled all over the world and what it's doing to the environment. So it's not that all that isn't relevant, but it's like if we're going to try and sit and practice just sitting, just being. That's a good way of calling it, really, just being. We don't know how to just be. And it's such a relief when we can do that. So if we can sit there and actually tell ourselves, that what we're seeing ultimately or basically from the ground up, as it were, is colour and shape. We're seeing colour and shape. And for example, it might be that we're looking at a playing field and that what we see is all the beautiful green, all the changing greens in our eyesight. And we see sky with clouds changing all the time. And if we can absorb ourselves in that experience, by absorb ourselves in that experience, I mean without conceptualizing, without constantly creating stories around it. Now, of course, you will have some stories, they will arrive. You will have concepts coming and going. But if you can keep letting go and coming back to shape and colour, shape and colour. That's actually what's in your experience, shape and colour. You'll find that it's actually very relaxing. It allows a spaciousness to come into your experience. It opens things up. It doesn't create problems. It's just there. It's indisputable. You're just seeing colour and shape. So why not try that? I'm going to talk more about spaciousness another time because I think, it's something that we definitely need, and there's so much to say about it. But for now, I'm going to leave you with that and see if you can do that today or tomorrow or for the next week. 10 minutes or 15 minutes, seeing if you can allow yourself to become absorbed in shape and colour that's before your eyes without creating stories, without letting your mind run away. Because when your mind runs away, you're not present. So see if you can see whether that's true or not. You're not really present. You're not really living your life. You're not in the moment. And see how you get on with that. Bye for now.